Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. And I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect.
Wagwan people, Lumanny here, back again with another episode of the Aston Villa save here on my channel. Yes, I have a cold. That's why I sound like this. Hopefully it won't be too annoying, but we gotta get episodes out, regardless of having colds or not. So here we are. Obviously, last episode we had a incredibly long January. A lot of games where we found out who our next round opponents would be in the Champions League that we will face in this episode. A lot of business done as well, with Ansu Fati, Danso, Rio Hatate, and Bissek, I think, and Doherty all coming in. So a lot, we've gone through a lot in the last episode, but we are straight into games in this one, no time to waste whatsoever. Yeah, we're starting off quick with a derby against Wolves. I have to say, I have found recently, I'm not sure I've settled into the new formation and the new tactics yet. There's parts of it that I really like, and there's parts of it that I just haven't gelled with yet. I find the midfield defensively is a little bit worrying for me at the moment. Seems very easy to get around them. I don't know, maybe if I need to change a couple of things up and try some different stuff, but that is something that we're gonna keep going with. Attack wise, I can see the benefits in attack for sure. I don't think we're getting the best out of Jacob Ramsey there yet, so that's another thing that we might have to have a look into. That's why we brought Hatate in, to kind of give him some competition in there, because he didn't really have a lot. Buendia hasn't played particularly well in there. But anyway, let's focus on this match. Take a look at the Wolves lineup. Jose Sarr in net, Gomez, Bueno, Dawson, Doherty, Andre, midfield with Bubakar, Traore, Gomez, Sarabia, Scott Olsen and Cunha. Obviously, you know most of our lineup. Emi Martinez in net, Danso now starting at the back with Pau Torres, Doherty is starting in this one. Midfield twos, Kamara and McGinn. Then Ramsey in that one role with the front three of Rodgers, Watkins and Bailey, I think it was in this one. This game, we just could not break down Wolves whatsoever. We had a fair few attempts, but nothing really ironed on, no real gilt-edged chances. These are probably the best chances of the game from both sides, to be honest. I don't know why Bissek wouldn't clear this straight away. But yeah, it was kind of a bore draw between us and Wolves in this one. Neither team could particularly break each other down very easily. And in the end, we end up hanging on for a point right near the end. Bissek getting his first appearance, I think it is, because he came in on deadline day. But yeah, not much to talk about in that game, to be honest. 0-0 at the end. It's nice to get a clean sheet at least, because we've been struggling defensively recently and conceding a fair few goals, so we would take the clean sheet. But as you'll see in the stats in a second, we didn't really, neither team, we had chances, but none of them were really like odds-on chances. Philogene finished his training here, as I show you the calendar quickly to see where both of our Champions League games are, as well as I think 4 league games. We are in 4th, so we're still doing well league-wise, but we are stumbling a little bit, I would say, and now we have our first round of 16 match against Dinamo Zagreb. I was feeling relatively confident going into this one until I saw it was raining. Then I was like, well, I already know now that means that I'm going to struggle to attack. I can't nail down the best way to play when it's raining, because the ball just does not move, and if you play it over the top, it skips off the ground so quickly that you basically can't play anyone through over the top. So I like the difficulty of the weather, because it adds a kind of different dynamic to the game. You have to change your playstyles up when it is raining or when it is windy, blah blah blah. But I've just not nailed it down yet, and it's really, I am really struggling with rain games at the moment. We've got pretty much a similar team here. Ansu Fati coming on the left because he has been very good the last couple of games that I've brought him on as a sub. Obviously, the plan is to get him to be our starting left winger at some point. I think it'd probably be sooner rather than later, to be honest, because he is a pretty decent player. But yeah, going into this one, I felt like we could get the best out of them. I soon realised that I might not be correct in my assessment. That was basically the only attempt of the first half, and Danto unfortunately ended up putting it straight down the middle at the goalkeeper. Zagreb were pretty much impossible to break down. You can see they're not having a lot of attempts, but we could not get through them. They just kept crowding us out when we got to the edge of the box. Coming into the second half, they started coming forward a bit more, and they play one good ball through there. Emi Martinez comes out to try and close the angle. Unfortunately, doesn't end up getting near it, and Petkovic smashes one, and it goes in off the underside of the bar. So literally, I think their second shot on target, they end up taking a 1-0 lead. You have to say that Emi should have probably done slightly better there and actually got something on the ball. We decided to make some subs there. Takes us another full 10 minutes to even get going forward again. John Duran, who subbed on for Ollie Watkins because Watkins could not get into this game. He shimmies and shakes really well, opens up space, and then fires wide, unfortunately. We then lay one back to Hatate, who takes a good stop from the keeper. This keeper was actually incredible. Like, he saved everything. We win the ball back up high here. Duran lays it across to Leon Bailey, and another save by the goalkeeper. Then very late on here, Ansu Fati using his dribbling to get into the box, finds Leon Bailey. He finds Hatate again. I was going to strike it, but changed my mind. Then a good cross from Doughty there. And I thought we'd equalise, but it ends up being offside from Leon Bailey. It's an incredible cross from Alfie Doughty, I have to say. But unfortunately, it is offside from Leon Bailey. He went just too early on his run. We send a long one forward here. It gets headed away, but Duran heads it back down to Leon Bailey, who goes round his man. And again, another incredible save by the goalkeeper, and that would be it. Dinamo Zagreb would hold on for a 1-0 win in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 against us. A result that I can 100% say I was not expecting, but their goalkeeper, you can see he got an 8.2, the highest rating of anyone in the game. 5 saves from 10 shots on target. It's just one of those. They just managed to take advantage of their opportunity, and we just didn't take ours, and then their keeper and their defence just sat in, and we could not break them down for love nor money. So unfortunately, we are going to be going into our home leg 1-0 down in the round of 16, which is not something I expected. Meaning that this Ipswich game had this special emphasis on it because we'd already drawn one game against Wolves that we probably should have been able to win. We've now lost against Dinamo Zagreb, so we need a result against Ipswich because otherwise things are falling apart quickly for us, considering that we've just had not a rebuild, maybe a mini rebuild or an influx of players in January that I thought was going to help us push on, and at the moment we're not pushing on whatsoever. We're actually going backwards. So a result was vital to be on the cards for this game against Ipswich. Early on we did get control of the ball. 2 minutes in, Alfie Doughty with another one of his incredible whips. Unfortunately doesn't win it. Leon Bailey gets headed down to him again. He spins on it. It's quite an easy save at the end though, to be honest. But we were all over Ipswich in the first 10 minutes of this game. This one really triggered me because we press incredibly well here. O'Shea goes to Muric. I win the ball, but for some reason it swapped me off of Ollie Watkins to Leon Bailey. So then the defender had time to recover. McGinn then would come forward, fire one towards Muric. Another good save by Muric, but again Ipswich playing risky football at the back. Muric then has to send it long because there's no options. Pau Torres would win the header down to Hatate. Hatate would play in Ansu Fati, and Ansu Fati would make a big impact in maybe his first start, might be a second start. and finish one. Very well done there. We then managed to phase through the fourth official there to just prove that we do have superpowers. But yeah, anyway, 1-0 up over Ipswich. It's a good start. I mean, we were all over Ipswich, so I felt confident that we were going to score at some point. Obviously, our biggest thing right now is capitalising on leads and actually managing to make them stick. That would be it for the first half. Moving on into the second, it was pretty much the same. Hatate will pick up the ball here, find Ansu Fati on the wing. Some great dribbling from Ansu Fati here to get inside Ben Johnson and then back inside the defender again. Didn't have many options, but it turns out that Ansu Fati didn't need any options because he would strike it near post and Muric would not manage to make a save. So we would go 2-0 up through Ansu Fati, proving to be a pretty big signing. I think has already equalled the amount of goals that both Philogene and Morgan Rogers have this season, I'm pretty sure. And now has got half the goals that Leon Bailey has so far this season. So turning out to be a great signing. I can't wait to see what he does for the rest of the time that he is here. Hopefully that will be for a long time as well. Obviously you can tell if the footage is still running, that means something's about to happen. Odegaard goes through here, but we do make the save with Emi Martinez. Luckily, because it looked like Ipswich are going to get back in this one here. Good little bit of passing here. You can see we're patient on the ball, knocking it around a little bit. Find McGinn. McGinn finds Kamara. There's big spaces in midfield. We go for the long ball to Jaden Philogene, who's been subbed on for Ansu Fati. He does eventually pick it up. Finds Hatate. Hatate finds McGinn. McGinn will find Leon Bailey, who would manage to get inside, but hit the post and then finish off the second opportunity. It's a long clip, that one. I hope I kept your attention with that top tier commentary. But we do manage to take a 3-0 lead in this one. We are well on our way to 3 points against Ipswich, which is very needed, like I said, for confidence, because we are not particularly having the best performances right now. I kind of think these slow down replays need to go. I get it, but when it's a tap in like that off of a rebound, we don't need a slow down replay. Unfortunately, in this one, we wouldn't manage to hang on to our clean sheet. Odegaard very late on, or Odegaard, not Odegaard, sorry, would roll on across to Connor Chaplin. He would put it away. It was a nice finish, but again, it's a player that's managed to get in between our centre-backs and finish off an opportunity, which is something that's happening a little bit too regularly for my liking. I know it's a new partnership and they're still learning how to play with each other, but something that I kind of need them to stop doing in an ideal world. But it's fine. We walk away with 3 points. We take it because, like I said, we've been struggling. We've been struggling to score goals as well. This time we do put 3 away. I don't know what this replay is trying to show because Ansu Fati is not a brick wall. And I don't know why it's showing that, but there you go. Clearly the game does not respect the man enough to put him on camera. But you can see it's a thoroughly dominant victory from us. What we needed for sure, especially going into what is going to be the next game, which is against Dinamo Zagreb at home. 1-0 down on aggregate. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy one for sure. We've got second leg Champions League playoff action coming up. It's Aston Villa and they take on Zagreb are like incredibly defensively sound. Their goalkeeper seems just absolutely ridiculous as well. I don't know. It's a very strange one. I think maybe I can blame myself for saying that I underestimated them a bit, but yeah, they're a tough team to beat. They're tough to break down for sure. But we're at home and we were feeling more confident. What I did do as well is I went and deleted our team sheets and redid them with the code because I didn't like that it kept coming up glitch saying that we're still playing a 4-3-3. Not saying that that's the reason that anyone might have been playing worse or anything. I don't know that for sure, but I just want to take all certainty away that there might be issues coming from that. But yeah, pretty much the same team from them. It's a similar team from us, but Ansu Fati is starting this one on the left, having performed incredibly well in his last game for us against Ipswich. Like I say, the plan is for him to be our starting left winger, so the quicker we can get him integrated and comfortable, the better for the team overall. Again, 22 minutes in, we're knocking the ball around, still incredibly difficult to break them down, but we chip a ball through here to Ian Matson making a run. and the left back would get us the goal to make it 1-0 in the game, 1-1 in the tie. It's a nice little find from John McGinn there. It's a good run from Maatsen. We've not had a lot of them from Maatsen. We've seen a fair few runs through from Matty Cash on the other side, but Ian Maatsen hasn't done too many, but showing up with a big one here to give us the 1-0 lead over Zagreb in a goal that we desperately needed in this tie. Again, you can see a big skip in time because we could not get through. They weren't threatening much until the 66th minute, and again, it's that same pass goes through the centre of both of our centre-backs, and neither of them can react quick enough. Dante is literally walking next to Petkovic. I'm on Pau Torres. And again, they slot it through easily. Another big skip in time, this time 10 minutes, so it's getting closer, we're getting more opportunities. John Duran is on for Ollie Watkins again, because Watkins just could not get anything going against these guys. But John Duran, with a good mix of dribbling and a good mix of strength, does find an opening, smashes it, and it does end up in the top corner. Great finish from John Duran. Luckily, none of the defenders were willing to put a challenge in. Tried to get a late block there, but it goes through his legs. And it's a good finish to make it 2-1 on the night, 2-2 in the tie overall. We are royally back in this one. 84th minute again. You can see the skips are still there, but it's getting closer and closer. Take a shot here with Ansu Fati, but it's a good strong hand from the keeper. I'm scouting this keeper because I might sign him as my backup goalkeeper because he is just immensely broken, it seems. But you can see there, we would not manage to wrap this up in normal time. We would go through to extra time, breakthrough here with John Duran in the 95th. But again, that goalkeeper that is being a thorn in my side in this tie remains a thorn in my side. We have switched to our pressing formation now, the three at the back, where we've got those wide midfielders, I guess you would call them, or wing backs. See, we're pressing over the pitch, trying to get them to make mistakes. Doesn't really work out too well, but John McGinn gets a good tackle in, and then we've got a lot of bodies forward here. Ansu Fati plays a 1-2 with Doughty. Doughty finds Philogene. Philogene finds Duran, who tees it up lovely for himself to volley one into the bottom corner. Huge super sub in real life is John Duran, and in the Champions League right here, proving to be a huge super sub for us, putting us a goal up in the tie, 2 goals up on the night. Absolutely huge performance off the bench because we needed something. I love Ollie Watkins, but he just could not get involved in this game whatsoever. Late on here, Zagreb go through. It's a good strike from the attacking player, but Emi Martinez would do enough to save it. Buendia now picks it up, finds Tate. Tate would dribble forward. It's a great ball across. Philogene gets to it, but it would go wide. Fortunately for us, however, that would prove to be it. We would manage to see this one out, and we would manage to turn things around. I know, shouldn't probably be that excited because we shouldn't have been struggling against Zagreb, but the fact that we did come into this one a goal down, and the fact that we did manage to finish this one 3-2 on aggregate, 3-1 on the night, you have to give us some props for showing the heart to see it through and to win this tie overall. But definitely improvement needed for the next round regardless of who we draw, because it's going to only get harder from this point. Dominant win from us. You can see they have more possession, but we had all the chances. But yeah, we do see ourselves round. We don't suffer a shock exit, because it would have been a shock exit really if we got knocked out by Zagreb. I know they're a team that have knocked out teams from England before in European competitions, but it would have been a shock. But yeah, you can see here we are through. We are in 3rd in the league as well, currently on 48 points. Like I say, this battle for 4th place for these Champions League spots right now is furious. Any time, any slip-ups, and it completely changes. You do see there we have got our next round drawn for the Champions League, and we are playing Stuttgart in the next round, which again, you'd have to say they're going to be a decent side, but you'd have to say it's a more favourable tie compared to some of the teams we could have got, like your Real Madrid, your Bayern Munich, etc. Stuttgart is a team that we should be on somewhat of an equal footing with, so we definitely have to take it. We just need to make sure that we perform a lot better over both legs, not just one. There's just us looking at the rest of the ties. I think I look at the Europa League as well. There's a couple of tasty ones in there. Inter, Arsenal, Atletico, Bayern. So a couple interesting looking matchups. Show you the Europa League. I don't think the Conference League actually was done yet. No, they were still doing their next draw, hadn't happened yet. But no rest for the weary. We are into another incredibly tough matchup in this one. We play Chelsea at home. Obviously, last time we played Chelsea, we ended up going 3-0 down. I think, was it within 50 minutes or something like that? So I ended up simming it and we lost 5-0 to them. So I definitely, even off the back of that win, I wasn't feeling confident. When I saw Disasi and Badiashile, I was like, if we can get Watkins involved in this game, we have a good chance. And then I saw Alphonso Davies and Malo Gusto, and that confidence went away very quickly because I didn't feel like our wingers were going to be able to take advantage of those fullbacks. But it's a tough game. Anytime you play with any of the top six, it's tough, but especially Chelsea seem to be a bit of a bogey team for me so far on this save. We put together a good passing move early on, and then we chip in Ollie Watkins. And as I said, I felt confident that if we could get Watkins in on one of those centre-backs, Badiashile or was it Disasi, I think it was, I felt confident that we could get him in behind and that he could score. We get central here, we chip one over the top, and they are just nowhere near him. They can't recover in time. Ollie Watkins gets a one-on-one with the keeper and tucks it away beautifully, as Ollie Watkins loves to do so regularly for us in the league. Not so much in the Champions League, but has been in the league. And we are 1-0 up within 3 minutes, I think it is. So a very nice start for us, not one that I felt was going to last. And it wouldn't last. You can see our fullbacks had pushed forward to go on an attack. Chelsea did manage to get the ball back, and then a ball in behind to Sancho here. I was almost certain that he was offside, but it turns out that he wasn't, and he just managed to find a space behind our centre-backs, something that keeps happening to us. You can see just a nice ball rolled in there. Danso comes across. Pau Torres doesn't try and cut it out, puts his hand up for the offside, but it isn't. Jadon Sancho would tuck away the opportunity. Nothing much else would happen in the first half, but Chelsea would start to completely dominate the game. In all honesty, from their goal, I kind of wasn't in it anymore. Nico Jackson managed to get around me very easily there, and then curl one into the bottom corner to make it 2-1 to Chelsea. Yeah, we kind of imploded, I can't lie. We started the game well, but it did not maintain for long. Then we play a very good ball with Maatsen here to Ollie Watkins. I was almost certain he was going to score, but he put it straight down the middle. Then Jadon Sancho, I just could not tackle. Every single time I tried, he would just do something like that and pirouette away. He would find the ball across to Nico Jackson to make it 3-1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie to you, is pretty much it for this one. We did not manage to get back into it. We couldn't take any points off of Chelsea, which is unfortunate because they had dropped down to 8th with us being in 4th. These are the kind of slip-ups at the moment that are costing us big in the race for those Champions League spots, because I cannot take points off of the top 6 at the minute. I think the only one we've managed to take points off at the moment is Spurs. Pretty sure everyone else we've lost against, and a lot of them have been pretty big hammerings as well, to be honest. So you can see it's a close game overall, so it's not all doom and gloom, but we're just not managing to take advantage of our opportunities in those games at the moment. We would drop down to 5th following that one, and then we would move on to the last game of the episode against Crystal Palace. Again, it was one where I was like, this is a chance for us to bounce back after a disappointing result against Chelsea. We managed to do it in our last game when we lost to Dinamo Zagreb and then bounced back against Ipswich. So I was hoping we would kind of get the same bounce. However, 5 backs are never fun to play against, especially when you can't manage to take advantage of the full-backs pushing forward that much. I felt confident that the midfield game we would probably be able to dominate because Kamada and Will Hughes probably aren't the most defensive midfielders you've ever seen in your life, so I thought we might be able to take advantage of that one. Bissek is getting a start in this game as well. Ramsey coming back in to start, and Ansu Fati now occupying that left wing as we said we want him to. I can't lie to you, again, it was a pretty tough game in the early goings. Pretty much fought around the midfield, back and forth. We do lay in a good ball here to Leon Bailey. He would dribble inside nicely, not close down, and curl a very nice shot and put it in the bottom corner. I just need more of that from Leon, to be honest. He is really great when you get him in the right position. If you can't get him out in those one-on-one opportunities, sometimes it kind of feels like he's not in the game. The way that he gets inside players like that, they just never seem to recover, and he actually has a decent shot on him. He has missed some absolute sitters for me already so far this season, though, so there's some things to improve with Leon Bailey. I think he is a player that I am still planning on going forward with for the next couple of seasons. If his numbers don't take off, then maybe we'll think about replacing him. But with Ansu Fati on the left, I think we should probably be fine. But it was nice to take a lead away from home. We would make a good tackle here then and try and play Jacob Ramsey forward. However, that didn't work out. And somehow the midfield, I think maybe Nketiah was dropping in. But in attacking areas, they were getting like 3-4 players around the midfield. So they might have even had a false back. The ball gets played into Insigne, and Insigne, everybody knows Insigne's bread and butter is to curl one into the top corner, and as soon as he got that, I just felt like that's exactly what's going to happen, and that is exactly what happened. The typical Insigne goal to make it 1-1. Nothing too surprising. We would chip one down the wing here to Ansu Fati. He'd lay it back to Doughty. Doughty with a great cross, and you remember what I was saying, talking about Leon Bailey missing sitters? That's exhibit A right there. Volley at the back post that he 100% should be finishing. But here again is Leon Bailey's speciality. One-on-one. Doesn't commit the defender. Chips a nice ball over the top. Ollie Watkins is in the centre and does manage to slice the volley to the far post in off the inside of the post. And we would get our lead back 2-1. But that's what we need more from Leon Bailey. Those one-on-ones where he can just take on a defender, then find a pass or cut inside and get a shot. If we can just get him doing that more often, then he will definitely be an elite player for us. But you're seeing what's happening again. It's another long clip, which means something's going to happen. Crystal Palace coming forward here. Chip one in behind Matty Cash. We do intercept the ball here with Danso. However, it's a great dummy run from Nketiah. The ball finds its way into Insigne. He would then just basically tap it, and Nketiah would be free to get a shot away. And unfortunately, the lead that we did carve out just minutes before would be gone again, with Eddie Nketiah making it 2-2. Again, not making our chances count. Late on here, 74th minute, we chip a ball to Ansu Fati. Doesn't have the most stamina, but would win it off of Munoz. Tate holds it up well. Keeps holding it up, does really well to find Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers finds space to strike one. However, it ends up going almost directly at Matt Turner, so he can just palm it around the outside of the post. And you can tell by the skip in time that it's getting towards the end. Morgan Rogers has a late break down the wing, tries to cut one inside, chips one to John Duran, but John Duran is offside. And unfortunately, we would drop more points in this episode. 2-2 against Crystal Palace. Again, a game that we had the better of the chances but just didn't finish them. It's kind of the same story with us over and over again. We have great chances, we don't finish them. The opposition get a chance, they do finish it. It's just about being more clinical. It's about being a bit more defensively sound. There's things to work on, and I think we'll get there, but we're just not quite there yet. To finish things off, we would have a youth scout update for you. Couple players that look really good in the scouting report, so that meant we did have to go in and kind of cut some players. There was a couple of players that dropped below the 82 or on the 82 level. We do call up one of them as well, and Robert Hull, because he looked like he might be at loan level. 3 really good looking players from Liberia here. You can see them all there. Adu, we call up straight away, and we call up straight away, and Prince Ali as well, we would call up straight away. Not quite the potential or the rating that they said that they would have, but high rating for the level of player. We would then also call up one of the English boys and one of the Australians, I believe. Did we end up calling him up? I think it's Dominic Wool. Yeah, Dominic Wool we do end up calling up, and I think we decide to leave everybody else in there because there's players that look like they could get involved soon-ish, but their overalls are looking at like the high 50s rather than sneaking into those 60s. Generally 62 to 65 range is the range that I like to call players up, because then they're more likely to get loan offers and they're more likely to actually go and get them. You see here, Ronnie Hull we did call up just because he's at 61. He was a player that I thought we could just do with calling up and getting out on loan rather than leaving him to grow. And Mohamed Antwi, I did debate keeping him here, but I'm going to put him on the loan list anyway, just as an option in case he gets a loan offer come in. Prince Ali, the same. They're all players that I think I might try and integrate in, like I'm doing with Musa Adu. He's not going to go out on loan. He's going to stay here with us and play games here or there where he can, probably more towards the end of the season. Then I decided to just wrap things up with looking at some stats. Matty Cash and Ollie Watkins are top appearance makers so far. Ollie Watkins with 27 goals and 4 assists so far. Obviously absolutely flying in terms of goal scoring. Ollie Watkins in the league has slowed down a little bit in the Champions League, had a couple tough games, but you can see there already Ansu Fati already with 4 goals for us, having only just come in. He's already outscored both Morgan Rogers and Jane Philogene, so definitely making an instant impact is Ansu Fati, which is what we've been waiting for. We needed a goal scoring winger because, as you can tell, our boys before that, besides from Leon Bailey, who's not been perfect to be honest, they've been struggling to score a couple goals. Jacob Ramsey, I'm debating dropping for Rio Hatate for a little bit because he doesn't have a goal for us yet this season and only 3 assists. So I do make the change here to put Hatate into the starting lineup. I think we will start him for a couple games and see how that goes over Jacob Ramsey, just because, like I say, Ramsey is not performing right now. But yeah, we are through to the next round. We will start next episode off with the game against Stuttgart, the first leg. I can't remember if we're home or away. We have unfortunately dropped outside the top 4, but it is only by 1 point, only 2 points on third as well. So we are definitely still in the fight for Champions League football. Things aren't falling apart, but they are stumbling, I would say. We need to pick up our form a little bit, but that is going to be the end of this one. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get notified when the next episode is available to you, and I hope to see you in it. Peace.